Hello. Okay. So what is vibe coding? Now, that is what I want to talk about. And okay. And I know काफी सारे लोगों ने already इसके ऊपर videos बना के रखे हैं, but here's the thing. It is either quite misunderstood or because of it being misunderstood, it is disliked. And I want to clarify that. I want to just give my opinion on it because this is, the internet. So I'm just going to make a whole video about what is vibe coding. Now let me just start. So if you've never heard of vibe coding, मैं basic definition बता देता हूँ कि आप you just do AI assisted coding, right? You could use Cursor, Lovable, Bolt.new, Windsurf, any of these tools, right? What does this mean? क्या AI मेरा कोड लिख के दे देगा? क्या AI मेरा काम कर देगा? है ऐसा थोड़ी ना होता है. Let me show you something. Um, Look at this. This AI MCP playground, I just wrote this one prompt and इसने ये सारा code generate करके दे दिया. And for any of you programmers out there, I'll show you that it's in a React format. And I just asked it to create a task management software, and it, basically created a pretty cool to-do list application. And here's all the code for it. Now, either you are like, yeah, it can't do anything more than that, or you are on the extreme other end of shit, मेरा तो अब job replace हो जाएगा. And the answer is somewhere in between. ठीक है? ये and that's the problem. People are either like कि मेरा job replace हो चुका है या फिर they are like कि एक मिनट let me just switch the camera. हाँ, या फिर दे आर लाइक कि ये तो बेकार टेक है, वी there's no point in using this. Now here's the thing, right? Like everything else, it's in between. You use it with balance, it's going to work well. It's that simple, right? And I'll tell you where the balance with vibe coding is. So the balance with vibe coding, for now at least, is monitoring the actual system. I personally believe that at some point, AI agents like Lovable, the website I just used, are going to become so good that you wouldn't need an actual programmer to oversee them. Right now you do, क्योंकि अभी इसने जो कोड लिखा, that was pretty basic code, right? If I had it write a much bigger application, then it would for sure mess up. And I'm not talking logical mess ups. I'm talking syntax errors and basic stuff like that. ऐसा बहुत problem हो सकता है, and there are various reasons for that which we'll not get into right now. But right now, the middle ground sits ki, you can just use these systems to speed yourself up. And that's kind of what I want to get into depth in this video of what is it that you should do with vibe coding and what is it that you should not do with vibe coding. I will address both sides of the argument. One side is you should not use it at all, and another side is that I've been replaced by it. It's evil tech. Okay, so first of all, I guess the people that think कि this can completely replace you, I'll just tell you, just no, that's not happening, not anytime soon. And uh, there's a different kind of, that just goes into philosophy. ठीक है? Just look at it like this. Let's say there was even a system that could maybe, code 100 times as fast as you or 1,000 times as fast as you. Does that mean that the programming requirement of the world or the software requirement of the world is going to get over there. Because if you've ever worked in a software development cycle, you understand that there are always new ideas, and those new ideas can never be executed to 100%. If you work in a company right now, you understand what I'm saying. हमारे पास at least hundreds of ideas होते हैं, and we are able to maybe execute two or three properly. Now think about if we were able to execute those 100 ideas properly, how many more ideas would pop up into your head just from the possibility of the speed of your work increasing? Think about it like that. For the people that are saying that AI is going to replace them, for them, I'll leave it at that. For the other side, who's saying don't use it at all, that's the slightly more logical end of the argument, except the people that are arguing the fact कि ये AI है, इसमें इंसान वाली बात नहीं आ सकती कभी. Just shut the hell up. Just that's not an argument. That's just you're just stating something. That's not an argument. You, मत those if you are one of those, just click off the video. या फिर listen with an open mind, whatever you want to do. For those people that do not like to use it, I'll tell you this. Um, yes, AI does make a lot of mistakes while creating software, especially when you're looking at security. But here's the thing, anyone can make if you hand if you hand it to an intern, let's say if you ask an intern to like you can't ask an intern to scale authentication, or you can't ask an intern to do something like that, right? So similarly, you cannot ask AI to do that kind of stuff. What it is capable of right now, at least right now, is AI assisted coding. That's the whole definition of vibe coding, right? Do not use it for like 100% just you close your eyes and just type stuff and you wait for it to happen. In that case, yes, your code base is going to be shit. You are going to have the most horrible, confusing code base that no one other than the AI can understand. But if you use it properly, and by properly, I mean there are tricks to it, right? There's a whole vibe coding community out there. There are MCP servers that can help you with this right now. If you use it to assign smaller tasks to AI and then, monitor those tasks, eventually you'll get to a point where you'll understand how is it that you integrate the AI into your, you know, daily way of coding. Now, without AI, maybe you just, start writing code, you face any problem, you Google it. What else could you do? You could just ask AI for the solution, confirm it with Google. That speeds up your solution. How now, let's say for doing something like UI, you don't need security in UI, right? You could write your whole UI with AI. And when you're thinking about backend code, even then, if you just instead of saying implement an endpoint that does this particular thing, rather than that, if you describe exactly the approach that you're going with, define your rules in the prompt, it's really just about good prompting, right? And then the AI starts performing how you want it to perform. I'll give you guys a trick of making it so that it's not a trick, it's rather it's a process flow of how usually the whole vibe coding community does things. And I know as a as a veteran programmer or whatever, this might be really irritating, but just trust me, if you try this out, you will not be able to go back. And since you already know programming, the way that you can use vibe coding will be much better than any method that a non-programmer can vibe code. And you will only realize this once you actually start, extensively just assigning tasks to AI. Let me show you a trick, okay? Yeah, again, the process flow. ठीक है, let me switch back to this scene. अब यहाँ पे let's say I go to chat GPT. What I can do is, instead of kind of just you know s- go into cursor or go into lovable and say I want to build this application, you can describe your application to chat GPT. Let's say uh, I want to make a task management application. Let's say you want something like that. What you can also say is, ask me any questions that you need in order to make a readme.md for this, uh, with all features and steps to build it. This should be multiple users and scalable, kinda like Todoist. Okay. Now this will give you a whole like requirements. Now you just don't need to think about all of this stuff. This, you just saved a day, 2, 3 days worth of research, right? If now I get that a task management application is pretty simple, all of this is pretty simple. But let's say if you were building something really new that you had never built, you just saved yourself 2 or 3 days worth of research. And now, when you provide all of this context to the AI, it's going to come up with something that is much better than, just blind prompting. Now, let's say I just copy all of this, copy, and I start a new project in Lovable. I just paste this in. I'll use, okay, fine. It's not letting me use Anthropic. That is just sad. ठीक है, we already have a task management application, no? तो मैं उसको ये सब प्रोवाइड कर देता हूँ. And now let's just see what it comes up with. And yes, if you just provide it the whole thing at once, it's going to have a lot of questionable code in there. I get that. But listen to me here. If you just go step by step, if you just do a little step, check the code, do a little step, check the code, you're going to be able to code much faster while also having, good quality of code. Okay, so it's asking me a few questions, and I'll just say one. Do all this. Okay, what if I just use Google? Okay, we just have been unlucky. Apparently, Lovable पे बहुत ज़्यादा traffic है, because I think they're doing some free weekend stuff. Go check it out. It's pretty cool. Just but let's not get off topic. So yeah, काफी बेसिक डिस्कशन था. This was See, this was majorly for people that are just confused about what's going on with vibe coding, right? At this point, I'm just confused who this video was for, but I'm going to upload it anyway. So, yeah, tada, bye bye.